Hi, Linda Sessions here with Linda's Take, and today we're going to do a take on PowerPoint. We're going to be creating a basic PowerPoint presentation utilizing text, bullets, SmartArt, pictures. We're going to be doing some animations and also be adding some transitions to our final project. So without any further ado, let's open up PowerPoint. So to open up PowerPoint, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can come down here to your Start button and then go to PowerPoint. Or here in the search bar, you can just type in the program that you're wanting to find, in this case PowerPoint. And the best match is going to pop up here in the menu box. I'm going to double click on that to open up PowerPoint. Once PowerPoint is open, here in the new screen, down here at the bottom, it will be a listing of PowerPoint projects that you have opened recently. So your list is going to look different from what you see here on my screen. If I wanted to open up one of these presentations, I could just double click on it, and as long as my computer has access to that file, then I can open it up on my computer. Also right here by the new, there are some themes that we could choose from automatically if we knew we wanted to use one of these. Or we can just double click here on the new to open up a new blank presentation. As always, when you first are working with a file in your Microsoft Office suite of programs, I strongly encourage you to save it before you get started on it. So I'm going to come up here to my File tab, and I'm going to do Save As, because this is a brand new file. I'm going to hit the Browse so I can find where I've saved it at. And now I'm going to go to Desktop. And I'm just going to say, call it What Do I Know? And I already have one on here, and that's fine. I'm just going to save it, and I'm going to replace that one that's already on there because I want to make a whole brand new one. The next thing that I'm going to do is choose a theme. The default theme when you open up PowerPoint is the Office theme, and that's black text on a white background, and it's kind of boring. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to come up here to my Design tab, and I've got all these different themes that I can choose from. Now, one of the cool things about PowerPoint is that if you don't like the theme, even after you're all the way through it, you can go in and change it. So you can change the theme at any point in time of your process that you're creating your presentation. I'm going to choose the Celestial theme, and I don't want the dark blue. I actually want this green variant. So I'm going to come up here and select the green variant, and here is what my title slide is going to look like. Over here to the right of your slide area is the Designer tab. Designer tab gives you options, some different choices that you can use in your presentation. If you like one of them, all you have to do is just select it, and you will see your screen, your slide change to that. If you don't want to see the Designer tab, you could just click on this X right here to close it. If you want to see it again, just click up here. Your Designer is going to be on the Design tab, clear over on the right. Now, if you don't see this Designer tab, do a search and make sure you're using the most current version of PowerPoint available to you. I'm going to click where it says click to add title, and I'm going to call this What Do I Know? And then in my subtitle area, I'm going to type in my name. The other thing I want to do on this slide is add a picture. Now, I'm going to do my presentation over cupcakes. That's something I know about. So on this title slide, I want to put a picture of a cupcake. So I'm going to come up here to the Insert tab. I'm going to go to Pictures. And this picture is on my device. It's already on my computer. So I'm going to select that. And as you can see, it's already opened up to my pictures that I need. I'm going to click this cupcake one, Insert, and here is my picture of a cupcake. You want to make sure you have some alt text on your pictures. The alt text makes it so that if somebody is having a screen reader read them what is happening on the slides, it's going to describe the picture. So you want to keep it simple and concise. If you don't see an alt text down here on the picture format tab, you can choose alt text right here, and then you can put in the alt text for your picture. The other thing I want to do with my picture here is I'm going to format it. I'm going to get rid of this white background. I don't want it. I want just the picture of the cupcake. That's all I want. So on the picture format tab, the remove background, any place where you see the purple is going to be deleted from the screen. Now this isn't affecting my picture. It's only affecting what it looks like here in my PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to mark areas to keep because I want this little top bit of my frosting and I want this little corner. Now if there were areas that I needed to remove, I could just mark areas to remove and do those. Once I'm finished, I can keep changes, and now I have just a nice little cupcake on my screen. So now I am ready to add the second slide. So to do that, I'm going to come up here to New Slide, and you can see I have quite a number of different options of layouts to choose from. Yours might look different if you've chosen a different theme, and that's fine. Some themes have more, some themes have less. I'm going to choose the two content layout. This is a basic layout. Most of your themes are going to have the two content. And you can see now I have where my placeholders, click to add title here, and then I have two boxes on the right and the left side. For my title for this, I'm going to give it the name of my presentation, and for this one right here, I'm just going to call it Cooking Cupcakes. And in the right side here, I am going to put some text in. So all I have to do is click right by this little bullet point and start typing. It's automatically going to make it a specific font and size based on my theme. Now I can go back in and change that, and I will here in just a minute, but it's already set up based on your theme. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some information. You can see I have a first levels on my first two items here in my bulleted list, and then my definition I have as set as a second level. So to do that, I just hit my tab button and tabbed it over, or I can come up here and increase and decrease. Now, what I want to do is I don't want this bullet point on my definition, so I can come up here to my bullets and I can say none. And then I want to make my text a little bit larger. So I'm going to highlight all of it, and here on my floating toolbar, I'm just going to click this 3 times, and I think that looks a little better. Over here on the other side, I want to add a picture. So I'm going to use one of these little icons in my placeholder. This first one is going to open up to the internet with stock images. The second one here is going to open up pictures that I have on my computer. So I already have these pictures downloaded for this presentation, so I'm going to choose the one where I'm looking at pictures on my computer. So I'm going to select that, and I want this second, Cupcake 2, and insert. And here I have my picture. I already have some alt text, but again, I don't want this white around the edge. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Picture Format, and I'm going to remove background. And you can see I have a lot of areas I need to keep on this one. So I'm just going to start clicking around. And you can see if I just hold down with my mouse and move it around. Got a lot of stuff going on here. And I just need to keep doing this until all the areas I want are selected. And I think that got all of them. Keep changes. And there I have a rounded edge. Now I want to go ahead and add a picture effect of some sort here. So let's see if we do a reflection. I kind of want it full reflection touching. So there. I've got a reflection of my paper, my picture coming up down there. And now I am ready to go to my third slide. And on my third slide, I want a picture with a caption layout. So I'm going to come back up here to New Slide. And I'm going to choose Picture with Caption. And this is already laid out where I can add a picture over here, my title, add some text to talk about my picture. And for this one, I'm going to talk about how cupcakes make you feel good. So I'm going to call this Feel Good Cupcakes. I'm going to add some text down here in the bottom. So I have my information here. You want to make sure that you don't have any misspelled words. And then I want this, my second through sixth paragraph here, I actually want to be indented a little bit. So I'm going to come up here to my paragraph group and I can increase my list level to move it over. Except that I also want to change the font size. Now you can see as I'm trying to change the font size, it's really not letting me to come over here to the font size. And I'm going to make this about 20. And I want to move this all up on the page a little bit since this is pretty long here. You can see my placeholder is longer than the one that came with the slide, but I can move it around. That's the awesome beauty about PowerPoint. I can move this stuff around, I can follow my guides, and I can move it around how I want it to look. So there we go. Now I want to add a picture, so I'm just going to click on this icon, and this has my third cupcake in it that I want. And I've already got some alt text in here. I'm going to put a picture style on here, and actually I need to do some cropping. You can see I've got these pictures up here, this side. So I'm going to crop this picture. So I'm going to come over here in the Picture Format tab and crop, just to remove some things I don't want to see. I'm going to move that down here. And I'm going to move this up. I just don't want that border around it. And then click on the crop again to remove that. Now I can come into my picture styles, and I want this one that has little diagonal corners. And then I want to angle it a little bit. So even though your presentation, the theme that you've chosen, already has some preset items for you, then you can still go back and change it and make it yours. You are not tied into everything that that theme is. So don't be afraid to go in and change stuff. Let's see, on our fourth slide, we want title and content. So I'm going to come up here to the new slide, and I'm just going to pick title and content here, because on this particular slide, I'm going to add a SmartArt graphic. Now, SmartArt graphics are graphics that allow you to communicate your information in a more visually appealing way. lots of different SmartArts you can choose from. So for my SmartArt for this one, my title for this slide is going to be Life Cycle of a Cupcake. And my SmartArt, I want to be a cycle because I'm going to show the different ways you can make the process for making a cupcake. So down here in my icons, I'm going to choose Insert SmartArt Graphic. And I'm going to go to Cycle. And I like the one with the arrows on it. So this is the text cycle. And I'm going to say OK. And now I can go in and start adding the text to my PowerPoint. So I've got some of my cycles, my processes put in, but I need to add a couple of more spots. I have more items to put in my SmartArt. So up here under my SmartArt design, I can come up here and I can add shape or add a bullet. If I add shape, you can see it automatically puts in another arrow and another text box. And now I can put something in here. And then I'm going to add another shape. Now this little pane over here is just the text pane. You can either put information here in the text pane or you can put it right over here in your SmartArt graphic. I'm through with this text pane, so I'm going to close it. This is a little small for all the information I have in here. So again, I need to go in here and make some changes to my PowerPoint slide so it can fit my presentation, how I want it to look. So the first thing, I'm going to come up here to my life cycle of a cupcake placeholder, and I'm going to move that up. And now I'm going to come down here to my SmartArt graphic, and I'm going to make it larger. And then move it down. The other thing I want to do is change the colors. I don't like the yellow arrows. So up here on my SmartArt design, I have my change colors option. So I can come in here and I can change the colors and make it look a little bit better. You can see as I move my mouse around the options, I get a preview pane of what it's going to look like. I like this green and blue right here. Last thing I'm going to do to this slide is add another picture. So I'm going to come up here to Insert. I'm going to go to Pictures. And again, I'm going to go to this device. And I want this cupcake 4 here. And I'm going to check and make sure I have my alt text. Again, I want to remove the background. I just want the cupcake. So I'm going to go to Remove Background. And you can see here, I have to mark some additional areas to remove. That looks pretty good. Keep changes. Move it here in the middle of my slide, and I can move it and my guidelines there, and you can see I have it right in the middle of my page there. It's a little off though, so I'm going to eyeball it. I went into the center of my SmartArt there. So now I have my life cycle of a cupcake, including a picture of a cupcake. Now again, with your picture, you have all these other different options you can choose from. Make it yours, you know. Put a circle around it. You know, you can do different things to it. Make your presentation you. Now on the 5th slide, I want another 2 content layout. So I'm going to come up here to Insert. Pictures, actually I want the Home tab, New Slide. I want another 2 content, and for this particular slide I'm going to talk about cupcakes on TV. So I'm going to put cupcake, versus cupcake on TV. So on the left-hand side here, I'm going to go ahead and enter some text. I'll be right back. So here's all the information I have in here for my text talking about Cupcake Wars on TV. And now on this side, on the right-hand side, I'm going to add a picture. So I'm going to highlight that or select picture. And I want this little icon for Cupcake Wars. Make sure you have alt text entered in your picture. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose, I want the soft edge rectangle, but I think I want that soft edge to be a little bit more. I'm going to go to soft edge variations, and I'm going to choose this 25 point. I'm ready now for my 6th slide, and I want it to be another title slide. This is the last slide in my presentation. So I'm going to go new slide, and I'm going to do a title slide. And on this last one, I'm going to, for my title, I'm going to put That's What I Know. And I'm going to add my name to the subtitle. And again, I want another picture. So I'm going to come up here to the Insert, Picture, this device, and I want this last picture. As always, make sure you have alt text, and I want this I want the soft edge oval is the one that I want. I like this one, so I'm going to select that one, make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to go ahead and angle it just a little bit on my slide. There we go. So now I have all 6 of my slides. You always want to double check and make sure your spelling's okay, so go back through. Also, as you can see over here in my Designer tab, I can choose one of these if I like it better. So it can go through and look and see if there's something that fits your personality better or fits your presentation. Okay, helps it to look better. Once I'm finished with looking over all the text and my pictures, graphics are the way I want them to be, then I'm going to add some animations. Now for my presentation, I want to add some animations to my pictures. I'm not going to add animations to my text. I want to add animation to my pictures. So I'm going to go to slide 1, I'm going to select the picture, and I'm going to come up here to animation. And I'm going to choose an animation that I like. For mine, I want this swivel. I want it to kind of go around. I don't have any different effect options that I can use for this particular animation. But over here, I want to change the start. Right now, it's on a click. So my animation isn't going to take place unless I click on my mouse or my space bar during the presentation. I want it to go after the previous. So as soon as my slide appears, I want the animation to take place. And I want it to take place a little longer. So I'm going to increase the duration. If I want to see what it's going to look like, I'm going to click Preview. And see, there's my swirling cupcake. I'm going to go to slide 2. And I've got this particular picture here. I just want it to float in. So I'm going to choose Float In. I'm going to come over here to my effect options, and I want to float up. And again, on my start, I don't want it on the click. I want it to go after my slide appears, and I'm going to make it, again, a little slower. And I can hit Preview, and that's what my slide's going to look like. I'm going to go to slide 3, and I am going to add a fade animation. Again, I'm going to change it to after previous, and I'm going to increase the duration. I can preview. Yeah, perfect. On number 4, this cupcake, I've got it here. I want it to, let's see, how about the wheel animation? And again, I'm going to start after previous, increase the text, the duration of it. Now, I can also add an animation to my SmartArt. So if I click on my SmartArt, I have it selected now. I can also add a, let's do a white animation on it too, and have it go with previous. So with previous means it's going to, the effect that the SmartArt is going to take is going to happen at the same time my cupcake graphic is going to go. So they're both going to go at the same time. So I want the duration the same on both of them. And if I go to preview, there we go. Now, let's see. On my SmartArt though, I don't think I want the wipe. I want the wheel, because I want it to have the same effect as my cupcake. So again, I'm going to have to go over here to start, with previous, change the duration, and now let's look and see what it would look like. Yeah, that's fantastic. Ready for my last slide now, my 5th slide, and my Cupcake Wars animation here. And I think I want this to bounce in. And again, after previous, and I want to take it a little bit longer. So let's see, what would that look like? Yeah, perfect. So on the last slide, my SmartArt graphic, let's go ahead and just make this one fly in. I'm going to have it from the bottom left, no, from the bottom right. And after previous, change the duration so it takes a little bit longer for it to do. And preview. There we go. Perfect. So I have some animations in here, but I also want to add transitions. Now, animations are effects that you place on text and or graphics during your presentation to make it, give it a little more oomph for your audience. Transitions are what you add to your slides themselves. So when you're giving your presentation, how do your slides appear during your actual presentation? So I'm going to go to transitions here, and you can see there's lots of different transitions that you can choose from. I'm going to choose the flip animation. I have my effect options here I can choose from. I can have it go right or I can have it go left. I'm going to have it go from the right. You can add sound to it as well. I don't recommend sound unless you know that where you're giving your presentation at, they have access to speakers so they can hear it. Duration, again, how fast do you want the animation or the transition to take effect? And I usually make it a little slower. You want to apply to all. If I don't hit the apply to all, the transition that I've chosen is only going to be applied to that slide that I'm on. So I'm going to hit apply to all, and I want to make sure this stays on mouse click. I don't want it to run on its own. So I'm going to go to slideshow from beginning, and here is what my audience would see. So what do I know? I know cupcakes. And what about cooking cupcakes? What is a cupcake? When can you eat cupcakes? Pretty much anytime, guys. And what's the life cycle of a cupcake? How do you make a cupcake? And cupcake versus cupcake on TV. Cupcake Wars, pretty interesting. Check it out. And that's what I know, cupcakes. So I've got a very basic six slide presentation, and it's fun. If you've learned something new If you've liked what you've heard, please like my video. And if you want to know more or learn more about me and find out when I post new videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this is Linda for Linda's Take, and this is my take on preparing a basic PowerPoint presentation. Have a great day. I hope there's sunshine in your life today.